Episode is brought to you by GameFound. Create a free pledge manager for your project.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
And I'm Mike Delisio.
And we're here to talk about Kickstarters and GameFound projects. And there are, it's an average week. An average
week in every sense of the word, I think.
Is that right? I think it's slightly better than average this week.
No, I think you've just been used to the January and February.
Okay, well, better than the recent average.
Yeah.
How about that?
All right.
Last week was pretty good.
This is better than the recent average.
Last week, we won't speak of last week.
Why?
What was your pick of the week last week?
Would have been, you guys were right. It would have been the Tang Garden seasons.
But you weren't here, were you?
Did you back it?
I did back it. I think it ends today, maybe.
You're not going to play all that stuff. That's a waste of money.
Play.
Every season,
I'm
including the
every
secret
season.
unlockable 5th season.
I am. Yes.
Smarch.
I was waiting. I thought.
Smart is that's a Simpsons joke.
Is it?
Yeah. From the
SMRT,
Treehouse
I know
of Horror, where they have a school meeting about getting rid of the misprinted 13 calendar months. And Homer walks in like, ooh, lousy Smarch weather.
Oh my gosh, Chris will be proud.
Chrissy will
Chris will
be out
proud
there.
of
We'll hear him laugh momentarily.
Why? Let's move on here. Let's just jump right into the projects. Here we go. And of course, we're always looking at projects that will likely end in the next week, depending. We'll cover every project. If we don't cover it this week, we'll cover it next week or the week after.
Or we might not cover it.
Or we might decide
There's
we're not going to cover that game.
We cover what we
How
want.
about them apples?
Way too many cats.
Way too many cats.
Agreed.
Okay, Mike, this is all you.
See,
You're the cat one, Mike.
yeah, that's what we get. You're the cat one. So here's what I'll say about this. Yes, there are too many cat games. There are too many cat-themed games. I still like cats. Weird Giraffe, the publisher, is what I guess I'm paying a little more attention to.
Sure.
Because there have been a number of their games. I feel like they've got kind of a unique niche in the industry. Some of their games have worked well for me. Other games have not.
What have they made that you like?
Fire in the Library I thought was pretty good.
Okay.
There was one other one that for the life of me I can't remember.
Well, their new Tumbletown.
Tumbletown, yeah.
So Tumbletown I liked. Big Easy Busking is pretty good. I'll be actually reviewing that next week.
Did not try that one. Yeah, I liked Fire in the Library pretty well. Dreams of Tomorrow I thought was pretty okay.
That Wicked and Wise I don't think is out yet, is it?
Maybe
I don't think so,
not.
because I don't think Gift of Tulips is out either.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe we're wrong. Maybe they're out. We just haven't seen
There
them.
are some neat looking games. I don't think I've played any of their games.
Okay. Yeah, they're usually relatively rules light, kind of a filler plus type of a thing, I would guess. That's just, I guess, where I would put it. This doesn't appeal to me.
Filler plus.
The look doesn't appeal as much to me. It sounds like a relatively straightforward drafting type of a game.
Right.
Problem is,
Where do you stand on cats, Camilla? I don't know.
Where do I
in
stand?
the cat.
like
pantheon.
usually on the middle of the cat, or would you prefer like the tail?
No, definitely the head.
Oh.
Gotta keep them down.
No. I love kids. Hey, that's all right.
That was my fault. I apologize to our reviewer.
No.
We just lost 4 fans.
Yeah, right. No.
Goodness.
I'm just kidding. I'm allergic to cats. I enjoy them from afar. And,
Yeah, this looks too much to me like Cat Lady.
In its and you've got a grid. I mean, it looks like you're putting them on your own grid. But yeah, I see what you're
It
saying.
just seems like cat. It seems like you know how Alhambra used to be a card game, and then they made it where the tiles mattered, like
I see what you
positional.
mean. Yeah.
This looks like the Cat Lady version of that.
Yeah, I can get
You
that.
collect little things to mess with the cat. You collect them. You put them in a grid.
Yeah.
I got too much. It was too much of the same kind of stuff you're doing. Even if the game plays completely differently, I don't know. I haven't played this.
Yeah.
It felt too familiar already.
I got you.
And I don't really want that in a game. I want some familiarity, so I feel like I'm going to be able to get into it. But if I'm already looking at this thinking of another game, every move you make, then I'm not as interested.
Yeah,
Every move you make.
Every step you take.
I don't particularly love the look of it, but on the positive side, from what I've known of the publisher, they price their games very reasonably, and they fulfill. And from what I can tell, they run good campaigns. So
They're a true indie publisher.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Next one. Fantasy Commander.
This is the best title of the week.
Oh, talk about something you've heard of before.
Absolutely.
All right.
Fantasy Commander.
So this is a Ukrainian company making miniatures here. So
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I don't like the name.
Right. I watched
I
the
just
video.
wish they would tell me what genre these miniatures are in.
Okay, right. It was,
I don't really know. What is this supposed to be? Science fiction?
Right. Yeah. No, this is a post-apocalyptic commander.
God.
So it sounds like, it is, hex-based dice rolling, and you can play it as a solo campaign, or you can play it as 1v1. Look, this is one of those projects where I feel like within 5 seconds of looking at this page if you're interested in it or not.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm kind of interested in it.
Are you really?
The
Now, what
miniatures or
aspect
the
of it?
game?
Right.
Because it's a miniature game and it's on hexes, and I'm always more interested in that. If I don't have to measure.
So you would choose
But
this
again, you're interested.
over
I mean, so again-
Fantasy or Pantheon or Godtear or the 15 other hex-based
15?
minis.
Pff, they wish.
in the
There's
last
a
year.
bunch of
Yeah.
these. And
again,
none
I
of them
think-
are called Fantasy Commander.
Okay.
But I think it also makes his point, because within a couple minutes, Tom, you're like, yeah, I'm pretty interested. Within a couple minutes, I'm like, I
that's
don't
true.
care.
Yeah, I'm not
So I
into
think
it.
that makes Mike's point.
Yeah.
This does not look complicated, actually. There's the very few things on each card.
Right.
And
That's true. That's valid.
and again, it's on a hex. And you said how many of these are there? There's not that many miniature games that are not based on measuring and movement.
Well,
There's
sure.
very
That's
few
the
hex
standard.
based.
I think this is becoming more of a thing, but clearly there's more of the, get out your templates and
Now,
all
I
that
did
stuff,
not look through here to see if the miniatures come put together. I'm going to assume they are.
I would hope so, yeah.
But this has a very, you know what? I'm in.
Okay.
All right.
It's not a bad look, right? Actually,
I am happy for you.
the main comparison I made was this looked like Battle Lore.
It's
It
not
does look like Battle
It looks
Lore.
like Battle Lore, right?
It's
But the
not
minis are more grandiose,
doing
cool
that
looking.
well, though, honestly.
It's not. The title is probably not helping,
Yeah,
and there
I
are
agree.
a lot of miniature games.
Sure.
I know you're saying this is like an actual miniatures game as opposed to a game with miniatures.
Right.
Still, I don't think a lot of people care that much about that distinction, especially at first blush like this.
Right. Yeah, no, I hear you. And the name is a misstep, I think.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
not a great logo, not a good name.
Yeah.
You need to stand out
do.
on crowdsurfing websites.
Yeah.
If you've got miniatures, that's no longer enough. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Speaking of generic names, Dogfight. A game about airplanes dogfighting.
Yes.
Yeah, they're being piloted by dogs.
By dogs, yes.
Get it?
Uh-huh.
Do you get it?
So I've this
Do you get it?
this campaign took me on a journey.
It doesn't show you the
the
dog goes
full
all the way down here, by
range.
the
Yeah,
way.
I know.
You're looking at this.
Range.
This campaign took me on a journey.
Okay, what was that journey?
First
Mike?
time I looked at it, I thought, could this be the stupidest thing I've seen all week? The answer is yes.
No.
No,
We
I
got more
know,
stuff
that's
coming.
true,
Calm
that's
down.
true. So
Calm down.
This was early in the list.
Yeah, so I
looked at.
immediately
Okay.
was very, very resistant to this. I learned more about the game, and I became even more resistant because it's real time, playing cards, but the other people can hear what you say. Those types of games just don't work for me personally.
Almost like a Captain Sonar,
Right.
like.
Then I watched the video, and I was like, okay, I like these two creators, and believe it or not, that makes a difference.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And I kind of got a better sense for what I think they were trying to do, and I thought, you know what, this is a good fulfillment of what they're trying to do, and what they're trying to do is a game I have zero interest in.
Right.
Interesting,
And
okay.
that's fine. Kickstarter is good for
Yeah.
esoteric.
Right. I think there are
who
some
want the
people that are going to
esoteric
love
thing will
this.
find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's some people that will absolutely love this idea, but it's not for me. It looks like a miniaturized, almost Captain Sonar.
What kind of dog? She already said that. You
yeah.
were like,
Oh,
totally
I'm sorry,
ignored
I didn't hear it. I was too busy talking and
Got
listening
it.
to
You
myself.
definitely
I was too
have
busy
been
supporting
monologuing
you
here
for
for a
you to hear
bit.
it, I guess. Go
What
ahead.
kind
I'll
of
shut
dog
up
is
now.
that white one?
Some sort of-
Airhound,
I
think it is a hare.
It's some sort of, yeah.
Which would be
Can't think
funny.
of
It's
it.
such a snooty looking dog.
It's some kind of hound, yeah. Long face.
Because this is a Great Dane, right?
or a Doberman.
Yeah,
That
it's a
looks like a
Doberman.
Doberman
It's a
with those
Doberman.
ears.
And then there's a bulldog, and then who cares? All right.
That is a cat.
All right. Ahau. This is Rulers of Yucatan.
This looks
pretty good.
Yeah, this looks
Yeah.
good.
This
This
looks
one
good.
This does look like a little bit like a board and dice game. but it's a little too colorful for that, actually.
I suppose.
Which I liked. I liked that they brought those vibrant colors to it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant it was board and dice game would be less colorful.
Oh, okay.
I should say.
All right.
That's not a negative thing
All right,
against
yeah.
this. This looks good. It looks a little rough on the graphic design.
I agree.
Okay.
Looks a little indie. Which is fine. I don't know. I mean, these guys, this is their first created, it says, this company.
Yep.
But the game there looks good. Yeah, there's some interesting simultaneous card play
Yep.
for picking a location, and then if you're there with someone else, you happen to pick the same one. Some
fight.
conflict,
Battle, right.
and then selecting and growing and building Euro-style game with
Right.
perhaps a little confrontation.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, this looks not bad. I wasn't sort of thinking about backing it necessarily, but I could definitely see this, being something that that hits a lot of sweet spots for people, right?
Yeah. One of the things it does that I like typically in games is it looks like it's at least partially player driven as far as the tempo, where you go through three ages, or if you build your pyramid first, that could also end the game. I kind of like that tension of you don't know when the game's going to end.
Right.
That's usually a fun thing for me.
And also kind of driving that end is like, am I ready for it to end? Hold on, I know I'm ahead. Right.
Yeah.
No, I really thought it led to some interesting decisions, balancing that, again, the tension of am I going to have to fight or not? So, being prepared for that, but also maybe hoping not or trying to force it, definitely looked like a lot of space for some interesting decisions. I thought this looked good.
Yeah.
This theme has been used a decent amount lately.
Especially.
Recently.
The timing on that is maybe a little unfortunate.
And even the title, didn't we just play one? Was it Yucatan?
Oh, that was the Matago
Or-
game. Yeah. I can't remember what that was called already.
Yeah, and this one
The
is
cover could definitely be better. The font there needs a little something.
Sure. Yeah.
But this looks pretty good. Like I think you'll get this game and it'll feel Kickstarter-y. You know what I mean by that. It's a little
do.
rough around the edges, but I think there's going to be a good game in there.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Behext, an unconventional deck building game. Now, I don't, you've been talking about names. I don't actually hate the name Behext.
Not a bad name.
It's a different, I don't know. It's
It's
a
different,
name.
but you can pronounce it.
That's also true.
It's,
right.
You don't question. Behext?
This game I have zero interest with, so I won't say much other than I think it looks. I think that the artwork is very well realized. There's no art on the cards, but
It's got a good cover.
Right, yeah. But the
I have
artwork's not
negative
well
interest in
integrated.
this.
yeah, me too.
Really? Am I the only person who's interested in this?
I thought a couple of you would be. This is not my style of game.
No,
Tom.
it's a
No,
deck
this
building
isn't.
game that I'm already saturated with as it is.
You keep saying that, but we don't play that many deck building games these days.
That's true, and I don't want to.
I like deck building, and when it's
Yeah.
in the game, I'm pretty happy with it.
And then this one has all those cards that look like the Harry Potter swirlies,
Yeah,
and nothing
Which,
else.
I mean, they are spells and such. I mean, that's
Sure.
what they're trying to go for.
No, I really like those things. Look like they're from Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Oh, they do, yes.
They
Okay, yes,
absolutely do.
that I agree on.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's talking about the player markers.
Right.
I just know. I mean, it's got. The last game looked interesting. The artwork wasn't as good. This has fantastic artwork,
Right.
from what I can see. That I'm not interested in the game, unfortunately. Yeah, it might be great. Deck building. When you combine, I think what it is if you combine deck building with a sort of abstracted anything,
I
doesn't
knew I
work for
saw
me.
this before.
All right, well, not all of us can read.
No.
Did you play an early
This
version
is
of this?
no. I was looking at these symbols on the cards, and I
This
thought
is
I'd seen them before.
Dominion.
Yeah.
No. Those symbols on the cards. He made that game Hex, where way back when. This is from Kurt Cover from Smirk and Dagger.
I know what you're
And the
talking
hexes
about.
are bouncing around.
I know what you're
It's
talking
a hot potato game.
Yes.
And you're bouncing. And I actually thought the game was funny and fine for a take that style game.
Yeah.
And it has these same kind of things. I bet it has some similarities to that system.
You said it was
Yeah.
Hex and this is Behext.
This may not be this way, but the thing that worries me about this game is it kind of looks like it has that vibe of you're building up for this great turn. I've got this thing I'm going to do. Oh no, you're not.
Right,
bounce,
yes.
interrupt.
I mean, if there's those spells and that back and forth,
I don't know.
that's just
That's not my type of
leads to
game.
a
I
lot
know
of
some people
frustration.
love that stuff.
Sure,
Right.
sure. Tom's into it.
Yeah.
Tamashii, Chronicle of Ascend.
Now, before I watched the video, I was like, what does this title mean? Chronicle of Ascend, but apparently Ascend is a corporation. It's the name of a corporation. So.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's a game called Descent, so it's about time that
That's true.
Ascend is.
You seem excited about
I am
this.
so excited
go
about
ahead,
this
hit us
one.
up. What makes you excited about this piece of trash?
Oh my
I'm
word!
totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
No, I'm really excited. I mean, it's a theme that I love, right? I mean, you got the cyberpunk, the kind of post-apocalyptic vibe with it. It's a cooperative. I really like the mechanisms in this where you have the number of turns or actions you can take per turn, but you have to balance that with you might not want to take all of them because if you take all of them, then it triggers bad things, you know, after a certain number. So you're kind of having that balance of you can do all this stuff, but maybe you don't want to. So it just I think that's going to lead to a lot of really interesting conversations around the table. So I think this is just checking so many boxes for me. I love the way it looks. I love the themes. The mechanisms seem interesting. And again, what I want it's that survival. So it's survival that it sounds like maybe mid-game it changes, or once you survive to a certain point, you end up then having to take out the bad person, you know, so survive them and then counterattack. And I love it. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It sounds like so much that I like.
Do you like the color purple?
Yes, I love the color purple.
Yeah.
Because
I love that
you're getting that
electric
in
color.
spades.
But it's that blue and it's just so vibrant. It's that cyberpunk.
Yeah, this
you know?
is
Cyberpunk colors.
This is full Blade Runner. I do love the look of this.
100%.
I love the look of it. I love
it.
the theme.
I am amused that this is Awaken Realms light.
But that's the thing. I'll tell you the truth. That's the thing that makes me most intrigued about it. That's why I hope you back it so I can play your copy. Is because
probably will.
I was like, maybe I wonder if this is too convoluted, but they go out of their way to say, no, this is Awaken Realms light. It's not that complex.
But it also means you're getting the great miniatures.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'm excited to paint these miniatures. That's
I am pumped
tough
to play
color
this
scheme.
too because I like stuff from Awaken Realms.
Yeah.
And these designers made the Great Wall.
Right, which is
the
not
Great Wall is not light.
It's not light
All
at
right.
all.
This doesn't look light.
It doesn't.
You can call it a duck, but it's purple.
The purple
So
duck.
I don't know where my analogy's going there. I got lost halfway in the weeds.
Camilla, we'll play your copy. Go all in. I want you to go all in.
No. I'm interested in
Excellent.
this because
I'll
it's
send you the
Awaken
bill.
Realms, but this looks like look at that. That's a lot of stuff.
a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
It's probably good, but the word light is not coming to mind.
All right. Yeah,
But
I
I'm
agree.
okay with that. Like, I mean,
Well, I am also. I just think it's funny that it's called
the
Awaken Realms
branding
light.
seems off, when they're
It
calling
does.
it
Yeah,
Awaken
yeah.
Realms Light.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, I'm all about it.
Also, it's doing very well.
Extremely well.
To be fair, GameFound is Awaken Realms platform.
It
So-
is, but this is
all
a
right.
fantastic looking project, I think.
All right. New project for publishing classic abstract strategy games. I really thought I was going to take this one out.
You can if you like. It's not too
Yeah,
late, Tom.
I mean, you're welcome to.
Look, it looks like it's just some kind of DIY project by somebody who wants to take classic abstracts and make them available. I mean, he's hand making all of these things.
Now, maybe I thought you would get a kick out of it.
I did not.
Did crack me up in the video. Did you watch the video?
I did.
When it's like a 20-second thing of him just
him
like getting the
getting the
creases
crease
out. Like
out
he
of
gets
the
a little tissue. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Basically, it's him unfolding the mat and taking the crease out.
Yes, with a tissue.
Yeah. I'm assuming there's water on the tissue, though.
I'm assuming
Don't you
so.
think?
Yeah, it has to be something like that.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Get ready.
Wait a minute. So I need to know how to
Prepare.
do this, actually, because
But
this
also
happened.
keep
Well,
in
it shows
mind.
you.
Keep in mind that the wood block is an add-on too.
Yeah.
This is not the best intro
It is not.
video here. Come on now.
It is not.
So there's nothing about the gameplays in it, you know, that kind of stuff. You have to go
Yeah.
down and just read about it.
He breaks out a
It's-
lint roller in a minute too. He does not.
All right, moving on.
There
You
you
get
Okay,
to see
all
him
right.
set up every piece.
Downfall, the war game series. Now, Downfall is not a new game. And here's two different ones. Downfall of Empires, which I believe is World War I.
Yeah.
Downfall of the Third Reich, which is World War II.
Sure.
This is doing pretty well.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Again, is this not another one that you look in within 5 seconds? You're like, yes or no?
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
That's
once
always
again,
the case for
like,
most war games, unless you are a war gamer and then
Right.
you have granularity to look at.
Yeah.
That's why I do
We
feel
don't.
a little bit bad when we cover these because I don't know that. You may have a little more to contribute. I have not
Right.
played many, if
Yeah, I
any,
don't wanna
standard
skip war games, though.
Right? No, I hear
Yeah,
you.
No, I
because they're
agree.
doing well. They're doing well. I mean,
Right.
this is doing just fine.
And it might be valuable to someone out there
Sure.
to hear non-war gamers say, this looks neat, this looks pretty,
Right.
I might be tempted. Or not tempted.
Yeah.
Do you want new people playing war games or do you not? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it might be valuable to someone to hear the outside perspective on this.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that,
This looks all right.
Yeah.
this map is not a hex map, which is
No.
an unusual thing. It's not a point-to-point map either. It's
Yeah.
a kind of
Right.
an area control map. The tiles look different.
And it sounds like you're
Really?
spending supply.
Maybe, yeah.
You gain supply, which it seems to me is almost like an action point system. You're gaining supply that you're spending to move your troops and attack. That's almost a Euro feeling mechanism, you know, a little more than I would think you'd get in a war game. But again, this is based off of a very cursory overlook of this page. So who knows?
This does not look actually overly complicated.
No.
No, the tiles I'm talking about, Camilla, are like these. I don't often see tiles like that in
Okay,
a war
those
game.
ones, yeah, the ones up you were looking at.
But even
before.
these,
Those
there's
look-
pictures, which are nice.
Yeah.
And it also looks like it's really simple. There is a single number.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Some eight.
Some 8.
Yeah, it would have been nice if it was actually a word that it turned into. If the thing is, it's close to actual words, so it's a little
Right.
bit. It throws you
Let
off.
me summate
Yeah, let me
here at
summate.
the end of my...
I really don't know what they were going for there with the summate. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Well, that's part of it. Did you?
That's
do
the-
you,
that's
do you
the
understand
whole
how to play
I
hook.
don't
it?
know. I
But-
get the
like-
game, but that's then why
Yeah.
call it that?
Right.
Figure out. There's plenty of words that the 8 can replace part,
Sure.
like skater.
right.
They've done that whole thing, right? But
But this one's so abstract. Like
Curved.
what word?
it's
Dominoes.
curved dominoes,
It's curved
and you
dominoes.
match instead of actual matches. You try to sum up to 8.
Or
If you do
match,
get a
right.
match, then you get a point instead of 2.
I think if you watch
Oh, boy.
them playing, it seemed very fickle though. Like every placement was like they placed it and then had to like slide it carefully
Yeah.
into place. I'm like, ugh. And then too, the deluxe one I think is really difficult to read. And so it's like it's
Sure.
nice that it's hand painted and they're making it in house. I think that's a really neat idea and kind of project. But it's not usable. I didn't think.
This is a game that is more the shape.
Yes.
Like this game will look good on a table at a convention or something.
Yeah.
But the form factor will get in the way of playing this game.
Yeah.
There's no way these little wavy looking things, and plus you can see them all like stacking them in front of themselves,
yeah,
like
yeah.
just
They're gonna
standing
tip
there.
over.
Oh yeah.
Also, the dominoes can only be placed on a circle in one direction, which takes
Right.
away some
Takes
of the
away some of the
strategy
decisions.
already.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Not my.
It's cool, and I would
Also-
stop and look at it at a convention.
I hate
You
that it
would,
comes-
because it's so eye-catching.
I also
Right.
hate that it comes in a bag.
I
It's
will
like
tell you-
easy to store, and I'm like, where?
The one thing is, I
on your
look at this
shelves.
and I do, and there is a part of me that's like, I kind of want to feel what the pieces feel like. I kind of do want to. There's a tactile. I think there is a tactile thing to
don't.
that. I do.
Oh, you know what the wood ones are? What are the base ones? Are they
I hope they're Bakelite or something like
fake
that. I
light?
would
Yeah,
think.
I just
That would
didn't
be
see
good.
it. I didn't know.
Summate is to add together.
Well, there you go. It is a
well,
word.
there- Oh,
It is a word. Summate is actually a word.
We've
Thank you.
all learned something
Wow.
together.
There we go.
I feel
The more you
stupid.
know.
The Lost Code reboot.
This
think
this is
that's-
the one Leo Colavini game you like, right?
This is, Tom, we saw this before.
This
You
is
again?
old.
You forgot again?
This is old, man.
Man, I keep forgetting. This is the same thing. This
Yeah,
is that
so
game.
Lost
Yeah.
Code got launched from Mojito Studios here.
Right.
Didn't do so hot. They had some issues. They pulled it. They rebooted it. This is a reworking of that Leo Colavini game, which is a deduction game.
Right.
Which
kind
is
of like
actually a
Code
very good deduction game.
777.
Okay.
It's very good.
I hope so, because they
They
put
are
your
now-
quote on here.
They
They're
now
on there.
decided
Did not
to,
ask.
instead of going full in with the plastic things and having that price be jacked up,
Yeah.
which is why they didn't do so well the first time, you can now add that stuff on.
Sure.
But
Smart.
the one you get, if you just back them in, it's much cheaper and you'll get cardboard pieces, which is fine.
Which is better than the practically paper pieces
The original
of the
was
original game.
one of the worst productions I think you and I have seen, because that was, and for how good the game was too.
Yeah. This is one I want to play. I mean, just reading the description of it was like, oh, that sounds really good.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
I used to own that busted one. Eventually got rid of it because the quality was just so bad.
This is the one that I went through the gambit of emotions that you talked about
Yeah.
with the dogfight, where it was like, maybe, oh no, and then oh hold on back in, like
Yeah.
like I definitely
Yeah.
went through
This
the
is
whole
one I
as
would
was
definitely
looking
play.
at it.
I don't know if you like it because it's an abstract, it's a deduction
Well,
abstract
it depends on what you
game,
like
so-
deduction.
Yeah. I like certain types of deduction, and this looks like the type that I like.
Yeah.
I think because it seems like it's not, if you don't deduce right once, you're not completely out. You just draw
can still
a
make
new
guesses
card, right?
or
So you can
something.
still come back. I think it's not that pressure on one decision
Right.
and one deduction. It's so I think that's one I would, because of that, I'm interested.
There's no neon pink in this one.
There isn't. No.
That's a shame.
How about purple?
That's a shame.
No. No,
Cyber blue?
no cyberpunk blue.
Blood.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Oak. This one's been getting a lot of very strong buzz, but that's because Game Brewer games tend to get that buzz
They
at this
do.
point in time. Aren't they a few games behind on delivering at this
Well,
point?
it depends on where you're talking about. Like, there's 2 games that have been delivered to some parts of the world, but not others. Like, I've backed Stroganoff by them.
Where is that? That was supposed to be
this
out
is
like around
Stroganoff.
Essen.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have it yet, but in other
Stroganoff?
parts about it's a
It's
Russian
that thing Kenny was eating,
history.
didn't you
not
see?
historical game.
That was
Anyway, that hasn't come to the States yet, but I saw someone had brought it to Dice Tower West.
Oh, Dice Tower West?
Because I guess that you could buy it retail, but the Kickstarter edition, it's a big thing. Anyway,
That is a problem.
it is a huge
Yeah.
problem. It's a huge problem. That being said, I absolutely love the look of this and the theme of this. This is one that, the one that earlier for you, this is one where I was like,
This is one I want to play your copy.
yeah, I'm
So,
like really.
So we'll talk later.
And I'm sorry. The stupid little things you put on the
They're
druids,
great.
I'm in 100%.
I
Those
believe that
really-
Game One Games is going to come out and be like, copyright.
I don't. Yeah,
These
no.
look really
They
good.
look good.
I like
Cool.
this done this way better than
Than
the
sticking
little,
them in the things. Yeah.
sticking the little
Yes.
sword or the little shield in the
Yes.
guy.
Right.
This is neat.
I
They
think so,
look
too.
really good with their little
And so they can have a robe.
accoutrement.
They can have a
bird.
an instrument.
Was that an instrument?
One of them's an instrument. Yeah. It shows you
It
where.
shows you
it shows
in
you
a
what they
little
are.
bit.
down.
Right there.
Not right there.
There.
No.
There.
All right, a gorg. How do you
gorget.
pronounce it?
Was
A
it
gorget?
antlers?
An instrument, a satchel,
A
a
cape.
purse, a cape,
Ravens.
ravens, or
Raven.
antlers.
And an antlers. Yeah. This is great.
Looks like you can wear just one of them.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, you can't have antlers and a raven. That's complete, complete bloodshed
Anarchy.
there. No, I'm very much looking forward to this. This looks good to me. But you're right. Game Brewer is going to have to. They've got to build up a little bit of goodwill again because I think they've lost some. There were
Not too much. Look how many people are bagging it.
I know. There were also some issues about. Gugong Deluxe was this big, huge thing that was very popular, right? That they did. Then this Stroganoff Deluxe, people are like, the quality on this is not anywhere near what the quality of Gugong Deluxe was, and people are flipping out about that.
And
But
they're doing the same thing here.
Yeah.
We're having the deluxe being
Right.
kicked or
they have already
crowdsurfing
said that they're going to make some
specific.
concessions to people, But anyway, they haven't lost my trust yet. I'm very interested in this.
All right.
Mechanically, I thought it looked good too.
So
Yeah,
wait for
yeah.
Stroganoff.
Yeah, it looks like
though.
an
Just
interesting game.
visually, again, had some.
I think of the
mechanics.
these two Euro games, the one we saw earlier being the other obvious comparison.
Right. The Yucatan game.
Yeah, I think I like that one. Mm-hmm. What's going on in it a little
Sure.
bit better.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit of a more unique theme, I think,
Yeah.
lately. Especially there haven't been too many of these druid games.
Druids climbing up trees.
Yeah. There's been a couple of
There have, yeah.
druid-centric games.
There's got to be.
Mechanically, the other one looks a little more interesting to me.
Okay.
Right.
But they're both clever, and I love the thing they wear. I love it.
I think there's $50 retail and a lot deluxe.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the numbers here. A lot of people are either backing the retail or they're waiting for the pledge manager.
I think you're probably right, yeah.
Oh.
Well, and I think the reason why is what I just said.
But a
Big
lot
news,
of-
though, that Game Brewer is on GameFound.
That is big.
That is a big thing.
But a lot of the deluxe is like going from cardwood to wood
To wood,
components, so
yeah.
that actually really surprises me because I don't
Do
feel
that
like,
and dual layer boards.
and right, which both I
Right.
think are
Well, actually,
obviously obvious upgrades. And
I
so
don't
I don't think
think
it
you
really
can see-
surprises me that people are going retail.
can you see in
Do
this
they
game
show
how
the
many
numbers?
people back
Yeah, that's
each
a good
one?
question.
Oh, and
I
this
don't think
one.
GameFound does that.
Interesting.
Oh,
I wonder, yeah. I kind of do like knowing that. That would be something I'd like for them
Yeah.
to implement.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Deeproot Dwellers. Now, this game, when I first saw the thumbnail, I thought, oh, this one's probably doing pretty well.
Yeah.
yes.
And it's not.
Do you think part of the reason
surprised.
reason might be that the video tells you absolutely nothing about the game?
Nothing. The whole thing is a little bare bones.
And
actually.
it was a really disconnect, I think, in watching the video and waiting for those mechanisms and understanding the game. And the whole time, it looks like a kid's book, right?
Yeah.
Like the artwork, it looks like you're reading a picture book. And then you get to the actual cards, and you're like, oh wait, that's more like almost photorealistic. And so I didn't know like what it's going for. I couldn't really judge the audience or what.
Yeah.
I got nothing out of the video. You know.
Well,
This whole thing to me looked like budget Everdell.
Yes.
That is 100% what I got. And then when I was like, again, and I know I say this a lot, Tom, I'm sorry. When in doubt, you don't know what you're doing with your mechanisms. It's a deck building game. So I'm like, okay, it looks like budget Everdell. Eventually I get down to where they actually talk about the game. Sure enough, it's a deck building game.
Well,
Like,
he says here it's a deck building / worker placement, and then he mentions a bunch of these games, but does not mention the very, very popular Dune Imperium /
Lost
Lost
Ruins
Ruins Varnak, which are both deck building worker placement
Right.
games.
Okay, but the worker placement is your deck. So you're building your deck and your villagers, and then there's a mat out that you're playing the villagers from your deck, your hand, out into it. And
Which is neat.
So I
Sure.
thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
But then it goes on. So where it lost me was when it goes on and it talks about, but you're trying to get in each other's heads and know where they're going to go and take that spot first. And I was like,
Well, that's how worker placement games work.
a lot of them, but this one made it sound a lot more meta. The way when it was describing it, and that's not. I was out at that point.
this might be good. I really think the look is a little rough, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to make
Yeah.
the call that we'll see this relaunched. Better.
I can see
Better.
that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
With that.
And this is also the kind of game that might get, because it is, this could be very popular if properly marketed. Thank you. I could see this being picked up by somebody else too. This is from, I'm assuming, pretty indie
Yeah, it
group
looks
or
like it.
person.
Yeah.
I could see this going to a publisher.
Is this their first?
That's their second. I don't know what the first is. Hopefully it's not the same one again. No.
Kuzo.
Oh, that's right. That one didn't. I think that was.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I thought it was
say
Kuzo
it.
Not
because
Kuzo? I thought
no,
it was
it's
Kuzo. I think that one was, like,
KTIZO.
Made like $6,000 or $7,000.
All right.
I remember.
Now, when I first saw this, I thought, this is making $1 million because all the Ravenwood projects do well. And I looked at it like, wait,
It's not. Yeah.
it's Ravenwood. And then,
Right.
and then I got confused because I'm trying to think, who was I thinking it was?
Well, it's also confusing to me because there's that Ravenwood Castle.
Yes.
That's the first thing I thought. I'm like, oh, maybe they've branched out and they're doing. No, this is just a wood factory.
Unfortunately, this name isn't good.
Yeah, it's
because
too
it makes me
generic.
think it already exists.
Yeah.
This company.
Yeah.
Who else is called Ravenwood?
There's the Ravenwood Castle, this gaming castle that you can go to. It's not just gaming, but it's mostly kind of
It's a hotel.
marketed to gamers.
Yeah.
Got
Okay.
it. Got it.
I didn't know that, and even then I was like, this sounds like a generic, like.
Yeah.
And then they
Like
definitely
everything else.
built something everyone else has built
Yes.
already.
Yes.
Yes.
And the big companies have this.
Correct.
Yes.
I mean, it looks fine.
Sure.
But it looks the same. I feel like we looked at this project a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Is it considerably cheaper than the bigger guys? Maybe.
So this whole idea of it holding your one, like for your D&Ds, that the one miniature and all your dice, that has been, because I've not seen,
Oh,
I've
yeah,
not seen
yes.
that where it has the miniature in
Dogmite
it.
has
But again,
done
I'm not
it.
in that
Wormwood has
world.
done it.
So,
Wormwood.
okay, because that was the first time I'd seen like where it has a slot for the miniature. But again, I'm not in RPGs and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, but I don't like their pledges here. Okay, this is a bad pledge. It's 35 or more, and then it's wave 1, and it includes all this stuff. So this is not a $35
No.
pledge. This is a pledge manager thing,
Got it.
and that's confusing.
So it's 35 minimum.
Yeah, because look, you're not getting a dice box, hero box,
No,
tray set,
no,
dice
no.
box, tray set, dice box, tray set for $35.
you choose one of
Well,
those.
yeah, they've got like
They're down here.
4
I
paragraphs
think.
in their pledge,
Yeah,
level.
see,
That makes me.
They're 35 for one of them, or 50 for these. So you click this pledge, and this is just the wave 1 pledge.
It's just when are you getting it? Is what
I
you're
want to get
pledging
it as
for.
early as possible. I want
That's
one
just
of
a
these
confusing
things
way to do
that's-
it.
Yeah,
Sure,
that
sure.
doesn't-
Okay, I got you.
yeah, that's gonna be
All right. Earth Under Siege, Flashpoint.
relaunch.
Relaunch. We're back.
Well, it seems to be doing better now.
Well, they canceled. You know why? Did you read up why they
I did
they're
not.
relaunched? They're just relaunched because they didn't do the pledge levels right,
Oh.
and the pledge levels was charging shipping, and so they day one they had an issue with it. They canceled and they've relaunched.
see.
Oh, they
2 weeks
relaunched
later.
that fast. Okay.
Right, yeah.
That makes a whole lot more sense.
That's what I was like. How did they relaunch in 2 weeks, and what's different? And so I did some reading, and yeah, it's just
Okay.
because they didn't do the pledge levels right, and once you launch, you can't change pledge levels. So
Well, you can, but not if, once someone bags.
yes, and they had like 15,000 or so.
Did this appeal to you, Tom? It had that kind of stealth type
You know
of
what?
a thing.
I got to be honest. It doesn't appeal to me,
Yeah.
and I think it's because it looks very generic space.
Yeah. It does.
And it kind of had a zombicide feel to it, like the making the noise and they track you, depending on if you make
I do
noise,
not like
it
making
just,
noise mechanisms.
I mean, it makes sense. I get it
Sure.
thematically, and again, that thematic integration I'm big on, but it just seemed, again, kind of a generic
Rules
spacey.
overhead also.
Rules overhead.
I have to manage a lot of stuff. If your game has a lot of upkeep, upkeep, it's gonna trip people up.
It did.
Yeah.
Like the more you give me an opportunity for me to have to go, oh wait, we forgot to do this, then less likely I am to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
this
it
is
looks,
when
it looks kind of a little generic, kind of neat. I sort of like some of the minis I think in here are very cool looking.
Yes.
It doesn't have the personality that the one we saw earlier had, right? The neopunk one, whatever.
Tamashii or whatever it was. Yeah.
This one doesn't stand out like that one does. That one has its own identity.
Yeah.
In a way. This one doesn't. I feel like I've seen this before.
Right. I feel like it didn't throw anything new mechanically. I'm not saying, I mean, just, from what I saw here, and then as well as it just didn't stand out in looks, and so it looks fine.
It looks like it's a good looking
but like,
page. I would say it looks like they're doing a good, other than they had that little misstep, which
Yeah.
but
they
it
caught it
doesn't,
early, and I think
and it
that
doesn't
was-
seem to be affecting them too much. They're making over $100,000, you
Yeah.
know.
But it has to be incredibly difficult to make a miniatures dungeon crawly kind of game and stand out.
Yeah.
and I think that right there is that this one didn't stand out. I'm not
Yeah.
turned off by it. I'm like, oh, I'd play that. I'd be interested in that, but it definitely didn't grab me. And in a
You gotta have
genre
a
and
hook.
field, you
There's
do.
gotta be a
There's-
hook, thematically or mechanically or something.
absolutely.
Right.
Pilgrim. John Wayne's favorite game?
That was a Chris E joke.
What's a Chris E joke?
This is
Actually,
a-
it's a little better than a Chris
a
E
little-
joke,
No,
actually.
no.
This is a weird looking project to me. It's a Spielworks game, I think, right? But I have to say, a lot of the game is not terribly appealing to me, but I do love that cover.
It's a great cover,
I
but
You like
love
that
that
Pilgrim cover?
Yes, I love it. But the rest of the game, I'm like, boy, can you make it more generic Euro?
What do you like about that cover?
The colors
I'm with you.
are gorgeous, and I like the composition of this kind of like forest encircling.
Isn't that Cherry Blossom?
I just think that's
I think
a
it is Cherry
beautiful
Blossom.
cover. I even like
Prettiest tree around.
I even like the font in this particular case. I think works really well.
You like
I just
the M?
yeah,
the M
I
can't
do.
be red
I think
and all
it's
that. You
I
like
think it's
that?
beautiful. Yeah, I really like that. That's a striking image to me.
Although Spielworks,
Their
change your logo.
Yeah, really, or make it smaller.
And
or
also,
something.
then you added another logo down in the corner
Yes.
that looks like, I don't know, like this is a sticker at a cheap video store.
Right. This looks like a game that Chris would love, and that's the last thing I'm going to say about it.
I'm out.
To me, I get a little bit of a.
I like the little acolytes here.
What's
Yeah,
the
those are
one
cute.
with the monks making beer? Heaven and Ale.
Heaven and Ale.
It gives me a little Heaven and Ale vibe with the hexes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I
and
can
these
see
fellas.
that. Yeah.
That one guy definitely likes beer.
Right. I do like screen printed
Which
wooden meeples.
one?
I do as well.
That one, Tom, clearly.
Spielworks, I think, has kind of a built-in audience. Don't you think?
They do,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna like their games or not, and I like some of their games.
Yeah.
I struggle sometimes. Again, it does seem like they go out of their way to bore me to tears.
They do. That stuff is all so boring, but man, do I love that cover.
Maybe it is Heaven and Ale. Who's the designer? Do we know?
It's not Kramer Kiesling. I think,
Nick
or at least
Case.
one of the two of those did Heaven and Ale.
What else
I don't
has
know if it
Nick
was both.
Case done?
Kiesling and someone else.
Kiesling and
maybe?
someone else, maybe, yeah.
Nick Case is
He was in Gone in 60 Seconds, right?
That's pretty good.
Tales of Northlands, The Front Nine, NIMBY. He has 12 games.
Wow.
Never mind, just various versions. Pilgrim. So none of his games have really knocked the socks off people. His
Yeah.
highest rated one is this Tales of the Northland, The Sagas of Noggin and Nog, which is a great name.
It is a pretty impressive name.
I am
actually.
Noggin and Nog.
Right.
I own that game.
It definitely sounds like something out of a Terry
I'll put it
Pratchett
this way.
novel.
That game's in my house.
All right, fantastic.
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm serious.
You have that?
Noggin the Nog? That's in my abode.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Have you played it?
No.
You have to now.
You must play it now.
No.
Live on camera.
I'm going to pass.
Okay. Well, okay.
You keep going backwards. What are you doing?
No, because
Let's
I went to
go.
an open tab so I could put in
Oh,
that
I see.
guy's thing.
Okay.
All right. Rumors and Legends.
Now they came across saying this was sort of a reworking of.
This is Clue.
Okay,
I was very
that's what I was.
confused.
Is it Clue? Because that's
It's
all I
Clue
could. I
with
didn't know if I was
doors to
missing
block
something
people,
else.
right?
Yeah, but they
Right.
kept treating it at the beginning like this is a reimagining of, I guess, the original whatever and Legends.
like the
and I'm
other
like, what are they
reboot.
talking about?
The
I don't know the
deduction.
original.
Like the deduction one we were looking at, that was a reboot. That's what it gave me the sense this was, but I took nothing away other than Clue. So I thought I maybe missed something.
This game annoys me because I want this look to be on a different game.
Well, I like.
Such a good look.
You
I
mean the
love the bids.
I
I mean the
love all
flying
of it.
frog part? Because I
Yeah.
don't like that part.
In this
The what?
game, I like it.
The
In this
alien?
game, I don't mind the
Flying
pictures
Frog
of people.
always hired people
Yeah.
and then took their pictures for the game, and that's clearly what happened
Sure.
here.
Normally, I don't love
God.
that.
This is cosplay.
In this, I
Yes.
don't mind it
Yeah,
because I think it's done very well here.
But I like these little tokens
I
a
really
lot.
like. They're not little, the chunky
big.
miniatures. I
Yeah, the
really
busts
like
are
them.
good.
Yeah, and it says it has that museum feel, and I think they nailed
Yeah.
that.
I
I think their graphic designer is
on
a
point.
beast.
Yeah,
Yes.
on point.
Yes.
But this looks. It doesn't not
Even
look like
look, well,
Clue.
look what Dan King said. Rumors and Legends takes the familiarity of the classic mystery game. What classic mystery
Yeah.
game, Dan?
I gotta figure they said like, hey, just don't say the word Clue, right?
It has to be.
Clearly,
Sounds
this
like
is Clue.
they've-
You're taking 3 cards,
It
you're
has
putting
a
them in an envelope.
Yep. It feels very scrubbed, of
It-
like
yeah.
redacted.
It's like this isn't the conservatory. It's the
You know
whatever.
what?
It's Egypt.
Get it,
you know.
get it, and play it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
As obvious.
I like the
Yeah,
look
I
a lot,
was-
like I said, and maybe it'll be good for like a mass market,
Yeah.
setting, or like if this showed up at Target, maybe it would do
For
fantastic.
$1,495 at Target. There you go.
Well, maybe.
You got
maybe
the
not.
jumbo shrimp special edition.
Jumbo shrimp, Z.
We're in. Let's
Bucket
do
of
it.
shrimp edition.
All
Bucket
in.
o' shrimp.
All right, moving on here. Small Samurai Empires. Now, we're not going to play it for you here, but you got to listen to the trailer.
But you should go play it
It's
for yourself. Definitely.
if
Absolutely.
you'll think Keanu Reeves is in your house.
Oh goodness.
So you said you don't like the look of this one.
no,
that what you said?
I don't like the look of it.
well,
Yeah.
these guys have done, what else have they done in the past?
They did the small railroads.
Warlords.
Empires,
We had
yeah.
Warlords for a while, and I think Sam played it. None of us did. The Small Railroad Empires. Has that one come
I
through
think
here?
that gets a little. That's had a little bit of buzz. That one.
And Magna Roma we haven't seen. Like, I don't know that I played any of their games,
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, either. I don't hate the look of this one. I mean, to
I don't
me,
hate it either, but I don't find it interesting or
I liked
engaging
it.
in any way.
I liked it a lot.
You did?
I did. I really liked the negative space with the colors, and yeah, I found it very simple. Simple but striking. Yeah, just striking at simplicity. I really liked the use of shadows and the negative imagery and stuff like that. Like, I thought it was really good.
I know they're very different games, but it gives me, a game that gives me a little bit of that Jiraku vibe.
Yeah, it has the same with the wooden mounted
Yeah,
units
right.
and that kind of thing. Very different, yeah.
Sure.
That's a little card game.
I think this game looks great. I'm with Camilla. This looks great across
really
the board.
like it.
Yeah,
I'm in between. I think it looks pretty
Really?
good, but
I
I'm
don't
not
hate
knocked
it.
out.
I just don't.
I wish-
It did not grab me. There's been a few other things this week that have been striking looking games. Mm-hmm.
And I like this idea of this kind of like the action programming. You're putting it out there, and depending on who goes when, but you're sequencing
very-
your action. Like I liked it.
It's very Game of Thrones, the board game. That's exactly what happens in that
Ah,
game. You have your
interesting.
units, you put the little tokens out that program your actions. It's like, diplomacy-esque.
It's
Okay.
also like the one that they put out, that FFG put out,
Oh,
Really, you didn't
Rokugan.
like that board?
on
Go back
based
up.
on Legends of the Five Rings.
Battle
Yeah.
for
Go back up.
Rokugan,
Go back
yeah.
up.
That's
up.
true.
Not too
That's
fast.
true.
I'll get dizzy.
So
A little faster than that, though. Right there. Oh, stop!
I'm off!
Like that. I love the look of that board. I love it. That's all I just want to say.
Okay. Yeah, you
that's it.
definitely like the negative space there.
I
There's a lot
do.
of negative space.
oh,
All right. Alrighty. Kalinasu,
very
immersive adventure escape game.
I'm trying to figure out why this is making so much money.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
It's one of those. We've seen a ton of these types of games.
Yeah, but have you ever seen one where you pour dirt on a page and then you can read the words?
Nah.
I haven't
seems like
personally. If you're
everything
actually asking, I
In
have
one
not.
box.
I am.
And
I
it's like
have not.
so many riddles. Like I think this would be just confusing because there's so many do I put it in water or do I do dirt or do I burn it? Let's try all three.
This is not my kind of game.
Like,
I think this is something you like,
This is you,
though,
Tom.
right?
This is all you.
Okay, I have now 2 of these sitting at my house.
Well, then get
How
to
many
it,
have you
okay?
done?
How many of them have you buried in dirt and burnt?
My problem with
That sounds
these
like
is
a nun.
I never know where to start with them.
The beginning.
It's a box full of stuff.
Have you unsealed it?
That's
Yes.
a good call, actually. That is.
No, I went through and there was like one puzzle, and I was like, I can't finish this puzzle. Okay, let me go look at another puzzle. I don't even know what that puzzle
I
does.
think you've got the answer now, Tom. You need to
Right.
be pouring dirt over all of your puzzles. That's the first step.
Or burn them.
Add
Start there.
soil.
Start with fire.
Get good.
No,
Potting
I'm sure
soil.
that a lot of people like this type of thing. It sounds cool.
I'm terrible at these things. I'm absolutely atrocious.
You don't like escape room games?
I very much enjoy them. I am atrocious at them.
I'm
we
with
should
you.
play with them.
I'm
and
pretty
I would feel a
dumb.
little bit more superior about
Yes,
things.
I will make you feel very good about yourself.
Ditto.
I'm also worried about the graphic design on this. I think these kinds of games, escape room in a box kinds of games, their ability to manipulate images effectively is important.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
worried that the page looks the way it does. Are their puzzles going to be a little pixelated, for lack of a better term, you know?
Sure.
I'm a little worried about that.
I did see
expect your
somebody-
page to look amazing, and then I'm like, yeah, these guys know what they're doing.
I did see someone in the live chat, for whatever it's worth, say that this Key Enigma is well known for these types of things, so they may have a built-in, you know,
Yeah, I
they,
think
they may be well known
They said
for
it's like their
this.
third or fourth one. Like
Quick,
this.
let's see, Tom. Maybe the 2 you have are theirs.
Oh,
Oh, I figured they were. I thought that's what you were saying.
Escape room in a
Calling
box, and then
card,
escape room in a couch.
Okay, well, here's the deal. If they had 1,000
Escape
backers
game.
for each of these,
Sure, there you go.
and they must have fulfilled, it must have been good, it must have been fun, and I'm a sucker for not having bought them.
You blew
Why
it.
does the new one look so much worse, though? What's going
That's
on?
true.
Yeah.
It seems like they're regressing, actually. I think the first one's
It's
the best looking
striking,
one.
absolutely.
Then it got slightly worse, and now it looks like Chuck
Now
E.
it
Cheese.
kind of looks like generic.
Jeez.
It looks really,
Explorer,
it
really
looks like a
generic.
bad arcade, like a generic
Yeah.
video game, or
Right.
like
Yep.
shovelware or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing I think we have here is Kraft Kube, the miniature painting solution for IKEA Calyx.
I thought this was like a way to paint your calyx shelves. I thought this was like, you know,
Man.
This is mind-blowing to me that this exists because
Yeah.
who's asking for this? Who says,
Okay.
I want to paint
54
myself,
people.
but also stick it in a Calyx
Right.
Okay,
cube?
no, because it's a storage solution. I think that's what it's going for, is that it's a storage solution where you can have all your paints and you can put them away, and when you want them, you can take it out, and they're your minis, and they're already on their little pillars, so you can take it out. That being said, I don't like
don't
this.
buy it. My daughter
I
leaves
am
her
not
stuff
buying
out
this.
because it's a pain in the neck to put
Exactly,
away
it is.
every time.
I'm not a fan of this, but I think that's what it's trying to go for, and I appreciate what they tried to do, that it is out of the way, and it's not, I mean, it's a whole wall of my house that is taken up with all my paints and
Sure, but then they
and that
should
stuff.
say storage system.
Right.
The whole IKEA Calyx is so very specific.
does this thing have to
It's
be
a
put
size
together,
thing.
this
It's a
storage
size thing.
solution?
I think so.
So let me tell you, one thing, what I want to do when I get done putting together IKEA furniture is to put together storage solutions that fit inside of
Okay,
that
but if
furniture
you
that I
got it
just put
for that,
together.
okay, go back up. I hate those little those little things right there to hold it. Oh my gosh, when
They're
you're
going to
painting.
move. See how they're not.
Well, I mean that's okay as long as they're secured to it. I'm just saying, you take it out and you hold it. I love this idea that it's there and it's secured. That it's not going to fall over and it can dry and that kind of stuff. But it's going to be so flimsy to work with to hold that in your hand. And I don't know, maybe I have sweaty palms. We'll put it out there for everyone to know. But that wood is going to be disgusting by like time 3.
You're learning so much
So
today.
much about me.
So much.
It's gross.
Let me
You're not gonna wanna
introduce you
touch
to a little
those.
thing called varnish. Just varnish everything in your house, you're good.
Pour dirt on it, okay?
Pour dirt on it.
Pour dirt. And
That's
then
a lot of
burn it.
paintbrushes.
That is a lot of paint.
That's not that many.
That's a lot of paintbrushes. Whatever. Gonna bring in that.
This is kind of cool, maybe.
I love what they're trying to do, and
I kinda like it.
so much.
I
But it's
really
also,
don't.
It's
You
also
really
very
don't like
few
it.
paints.
It doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't look
it
good.
It looks
pretty
like
terrible.
it looks like something that my kids made, and I was like, I would be like, thank you, that's cool.
Did you see what it looks like when it's up, though? I mean, that's not the face of it.
Oh.
I think
Holy
I
smokes,
did.
Tom.
Cube.
Keep going. There it is.
That looks like a high
Looks
school
like a
locker.
locker.
Locker. I'm not saying it looks good, but it's not atrocious.
That looks
Nah,
good.
I don't
Fine.
like
I mean,
how
it's
that
not,
looks.
I don't.
But that got
I don't mind
painted.
it. Yes.
Yeah, so buy it, assemble it, paint paint it.
How are you supposed to paint
You're a
it if you have nowhere to
painter.
put your paints?
It's not
This
that
is
kind of paint.
ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, I'm
They're
gonna-
going in backwards order. What's happening here?
Has this ever happened to you?
This project is not meant for you. You are
No, look, I
ridiculous.
buy stuff for my
There's a
daughter
lot.
for painting purposes. I would not buy this.
No, I agree. I think this is too limited. I definitely have more paints than it's going to fit in there. I mean,
Would this be good for someone who is starting to paint, though?
I don't-
Or is this overkill at
I
that
think
that'd be
point?
for this
overwhelming to
price
me,
point, no, I think it'd be great for someone that's starting. And at this, but at this
Paint
price
this and you
point,
can paint
but at this
anything.
price point, it's not going to market to those who are starting at painting, and those that are into painting. I think they've outgrown this.
Well, how much is
Right,
it?
because there's a lot of storage solutions for paint.
$59.
Hello.
You gotta assemble it yourself.
Check,
No,
please.
$59 is like an empty one.
What do you mean an empty one? Like an empty pledge?
No, like an empty box.
Wait,
I want to say the one with the shelves and that kind of stuff is 88, 98, something like that.
no, it's 131.
Oh,
Are
yeah,
you
that's what I
kidding
said.
me?
No!
So it's not.
I'm out.
So I think it's a missed market. It's
I can just-
too small for people getting. Or it's too expensive for people getting into it, but it's too limited for those that are in it. I would need 3 of these.
I can buy a table for that much money.
What? Oh,
Like a cheap
game
plastic table.
yeah. Like mine. Well,
And just leave them everywhere
Correct.
at that point.
Yeah.
and you
Bask
would,
in the glory of
you
my
would
mess.
be a monster.
That's what you
And
just
I
said
will
you
embrace
do.
it fully.
No, I have
I will
shelves. I
slay
have a
my
setup.
enemies
I have a
upon my altar. What were we talking about?
I forgot.
We're talking about, we're about to take a break here and jump to Mark, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Yes.
This spotlight is brought to you by World Breakers, Advent of the Kemet. Welcome to the universe of World Breakers. It's the late 13th century, and history is altered by the rise of the World Breakers, individuals who harness the mysterious substance Mythium to magnify their natural talents. The Mongol princess Kataloon, a world breaker and descendant of the great Genghis Khan, is reuniting the distant tribes of the Mongol Empire, but other factions are rising to oppose her, each with their own agenda. Clash with your opponent in World Breakers, a fast-paced, customizable 2-player card game. Draft your deck from a selection of over 100 cards, representing 4 unique guilds, recruiting followers to control the board and develop location cards to gain power. Proper timing and resource management is key to victory. Wait too long and your opponent will mount a crushing attack or finish developing their locations for a power advantage. The first player to reach 10 power wins. Who will wrestle control of Mythium and forever reshape its history? For more information, please go check out the campaign, which is now live on Kickstarter.
All right, let's jump now to some stuff that's not board games. If you have one of these projects, please send it to me at tom@dicetower.com. I love to get this stuff. We may or may not feature it on the show. All right. First of all, have you got the bottle?
The wow.
Plug the cam link and plug it back in and see if that changes the audio, because it is kind of like a weird
Do it.
sound.
All right.
One moment. Can they hear us?
No, they
Oh, I wasn't singing.
We're back.
All right.
Sorry, trying to fix mic problem there.
How does
All
that
right.
sound, Roy? Sound better?
sounds great now. I think it was the cam link messing up. That's what
Oh.
Have you got the bottle?
Okay.
So when I first saw this, I thought this would be something you would stick on your bike. No, that's what
Careful
that
now.
looks
Look
like.
that.
Careful.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
If a bike has no bottle holder, I guess
Okay,
you could
all right.
use
No, but
this.
that's what it looks like. It looks like it
All
wraps
right.
around that bar of a bike.
It does.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
why
then
you're telling me to be
slides down
careful.
it.
No, just go. Don't worry about it.
Now I'm wondering what kind
No,
of
you're
filth he was
fine.
thinking.
Don't
you worry about
Move
it.
on.
This is actually a water bottle you wrap around your wrist and then go for a light jog with weights
Okay.
around your
I
wrist.
do think it was interesting that the only place that they show it on somebody is like the
At the
first
very-
5 seconds
Yeah,
of that
and they're
video,
like,
and then they
uh,
never address it again.
We'll
never
That's
talk
a red
about this.
flag.
Also, because look at the way it's designed. You've got these hooks on the bottom
I'm
of it.
assuming they are.
Oh.
They are both
Right there. That's all you get.
digging into your...
But that's so it doesn't slide around, Mike.
Well,
Come
but it also
on.
cuts off your
You know?
blood supply to your hands, and now you've got non-working hands.
You know,
also,
unnecessary.
I like the idea of running with this, and you've got the caps off.
All right.
You're just spraying
Oh, yes,
liquid and
absolutely.
beverages.
Absolutely.
Clearly, Z and I don't run, and Mike's too old. So Camilla,
Excuse me?
Yes.
Do you carry a water bottle when you run?
I do.
Do you hold it when you run?
I have one that has like a strap, so it goes around my hand. Or I have if it's my long runs, I have it's not a camelback, but it's like that. So I wear the water bottles.
Do you ever have one that wraps around your neck?
Would you get this?
Oh, absolutely not. 100%.
Why,
This
though?
is useless for a number of reasons. One, that is not enough water.
This is enormous.
Two, like as you're running, like I don't want to drink like
Goes from here
this,
to
and you're not going to take it off. Three, it's going to slide all around. I don't see. It's either going to hook into you. It looks like one size fits all.
Oh.
And I've got little girl wrist, also sweaty palms, but. You got the hooks that are going to go
flashback.
in, and then or it's going to be sliding all around and everywhere, and it looks
Also,
atrocious.
I think unless you have two of them, you're just going to be running in circles, right? Because it's either going to be pulling you to the side, you're going to just be running in circles the whole time, because your whole center of gravity is going to be thrown off.
NASCAR bottle.
Where's Mike's mind going these things all the time?
You have to buy two of them.
That's right.
And you need to drink from them evenly.
Drink from them
Evenly,
evenly,
right.
because if you don't, you're in a ditch.
You're getting
Yeah.
pulled over.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Yes.
Looks
right.
terrible.
Bam bomb.
But
Bam
not
bomb.
as bad as this.
Right.
Well, actually, when I first saw this, I was going through. I guess I missed the top. When I looked at it, I'm like, "Where's the dog?" And then I
That's the
realized
dog.
Did you-
that's what that
That's
was.
the dog.
Also,
Yes.
I'm sorry, but they give you the impression that this is something that actually has some type of animation and movement.
Oh,
That it does
and then the
anything.
video.
Right. At the video at the end, it's like, oh, it's a nice sculpture.
Also, it does nothing.
Yeah, also it
it's
does
You see
nothing.
her like grab the thing's leg and bend it and sit it, and you're like, oh.
Oh my
So
God.
this is like a
It was a
decoration?
well done artistic.
By the way,
project
that's
of
a
video.
Dalmatian.
Right. Also, this did inspire me though, because now I've turned all of my spatulas and other things into pets. You know, oh, this is a bird.
Yes.
This is
Oh,
my bird
Look at
now.
that. You can pose it.
Here,
yeah.
Polly. Yeah.
so loud.
I like
All
that,
right.
Mike.
This one,
Okay, wait, I haven't seen
Oh,
this.
this is a new
Oh,
one.
you're
the
talking
toaster
about
bad bomb. Okay, so here's the deal. I am literally considering if this gets
No,
close
do
to
not.
funding, I'm buying this.
Okay.
It's a
To
practice
scar your children? Why?
toaster
Oh,
bath
I was gonna do
bomb.
it to my wife, not my kids.
Oh, okay, accepted.
This is large, like as big as a toaster?
hope
I
it's as
don't
big as a
think
toaster.
so. It looks pretty small. It's a bath bomb. They're usually like the size of a fist.
That's a good
I like the initial
prototype, though. That is
prototype.
good. That is
That's
good.
pretty funny.
This is obviously a very, very one-note joke.
Yes.
It is, but I could see them selling this at like a Spencer's Gifts or something like
Yeah.
that.
Something
You know
like
what
that.
I
But
mean?
it's also that joke that, you know, it's like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Wait, did they mean, what are you telling me in between the lines?
The thing is, if this is a legitimately decent bath bomb, I think this is a cute and clever project.
I doubt it is though.
you know?
They don't show anything about that.
What
They
does it
don't.
smell like?
They don't
Toast?
mention the.
They
They don't
don't
even mention
mention
the
it.
smell. That's
Just
insane.
the joke. They're
No.
selling just the joke.
Oh, if it doesn't smell like
Oh.
burning flesh, I don't understand the
yeah,
point.
then I'm out.
Ooh.
The fact that it says practice
Barbecue.
toaster
Yeah.
bath bomb, that's a little dark too.
Yeah.
Says what?
I'd still get
Oh,
one.
okay, practice.
All right, last thing. We didn't get a lot of good stuff this week. A real and working invisibility shield.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
apparently this takes a picture of what's behind it, and look.
Oh,
Ah!
there she goes.
Ah!
Not a very
I love
Definitely
how
can't see his
almost-
hands.
Almost every single one of these, they never actually show the person hit it. They're always half of them.
Wow.
It's also, you can clearly tell where it is. I wouldn't
Oh,
call that invisible.
it's Benny Hill.
Okay, that guy hit completely, and this guy hit a fire. He wants you to run
Wow,
over it.
that's
He's
good.
trying to cause an accident.
But again, that photo's not
Yes, but
quality enough.
In all
No, there is
seriousness,
no
I've
but.
seen this stuff before.
I saw it in that 007 movie, yeah.
Yeah, like on military applications, because they'll put it on the sides of vehicles,
Sure, sure.
and
Okay.
at a glance you won't see it.
Does the military get it from Kickstarter?
Oh, but you can do the yeah. the
Well,
swim.
obviously this is funded. People do want this.
How much is it going for?
I'm kind of
Okay, let's-
speechless.
I
I don't
know.
what to
How much
say.
do you guys think it
It's a piece
costs?
of plastic.
No, it's taking a picture of
It's
what's
taking a
behind it,
picture.
isn't it?
It's not taking a
It's a piece
picture?
of plastic.
If it's a piece of plastic, then
It's much more impressive.
It's not a piece of
What, that's more
plastic.
It's
impressive?
not tech. It's just like
It's just a piece.
reflects the light.
But how does it make this guy then not visible?
Where
Is there
did
like
he
a
go?
right,
distance?
I'm
Roy?
missing out
I can't
something.
There must be
find
some
him,
sort of
Roy.
occlusion based on the distance away from it you are? No. That can't be right.
Well, anyway,
299 pounds. Euro.
Pounds.
No, pounds.
That's the full-size one.
Right.
You can almost hide behind it, except your hands.
Right.
Okay.
A small one if you want to hide
Sure.
a few
Find
rocks.
some
Few
rocks.
pebbles.
All
I go
right,
around
all
hiding
right.
pebbles all the
You want
time.
to hide an elephant?
Sure.
I love this. This is so
That
great.
one I need a lot of them.
Right.
Yeah.
The technology. It says tech.
Tech.
It uses an engineered
Precision.
lens array.
Okay.
Oh, you're right, Roy. It is diffraction.
Oh,
I hate
man.
everything about
I'm
it.
definitely the
I'm
one who
out.
said that, but
I'm out. No one listens to you, Z. Come
no,
on.
I wasn't talking.
Oh.
I love everything about these arrows.
I mean, here's the
this
thing.
is what
I
Harry
actually
Potter
think this
did.
is kind
I
of
love
a
Harry
cool
Potter. I'm all in. How much?
This is a cool
500, I
thing
think it's
that I
500.
would go look at in a museum.
Sure. Yeah, this looks like a children's
Yes.
museum
What are the
thing.
practical
Yes.
applications of this?
Well,
Hiding rocks.
I could think of some practical jokes.
I mean,
Sure.
It's
That's
too
practical.
visible.
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
You
no,
can
but-
definitely see
I
it,
mean,
and
at the
every
beach-
time they show it to you.
but you're
Right.
looking for it. If you're not looking for it,
You're
these
not.
things
You
can't
don't see that
surprise
right
you.
there. Hold on. Close your eyes.
No.
No,
But again,
it's
you're
right
looking
there.
for it. If you're walking on the beach, I bet someone could. Ha ha!
You want to mess with people at the beach with this?
Oh, that's
Look,
what they're showing.
you're
Okay.
clearly the beach is the most obvious use of this. I mean, it's everything. A person is hiding here. That's actually the best. That's the best.
best
That's
one.
the best
So
one.
far.
Yeah.
I like
Some
this.
spy
Would
stuff.
this work as an anti-riot shield?
No, absolutely not.
jeez.
Sorry. We know you were looking for anti-riot shields. This is not what you're looking for.
That's correct.
That almost feels like a legal thing they put here, doesn't it?
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
strange. Okay. This is ridiculous.
It's,
I guess.
I love it. Send me stuff like this. All right.
Better than the toaster.
Picks of the
true.
week.
Right.
I have no idea what anyone's picks are going to be.
You have
Really?
some idea what
Oh,
someone's
man, I
pick's
know.
going
I'm
to
pretty
be.
sure
Camilla's
you
pick.
know.
Okay, Camilla,
one
you do yours
person.
first.
Do yours.
Tamashii, what was it called?
Tamashii
That was right,
is
yeah.
right.
Tamashii, is that what it's called?
I believe so.
Yeah, the cyberpunk post-apocalyptic.
I'm already there.
Yes, I am very likely backing this.
Yeah, this is a good-looking
I am
project. It's not my pick of the
so
week, but
excited.
it's a good-looking project. I'm looking forward to playing Camilla's copy.
Well,
So are you picking the other one so I can play your copy?
Well, I'll tell you.
It's your
what
turn,
my-
Mike.
You should,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
I was considering between the Yucatan and the one I'm picking, which is Oak.
Yeah.
Oak is pretty clearly my pick of the week. Come on, Game Brewer, don't get people back excited again and come correct with this pledge or with this campaign
Yeah.
because I love the look of it. I love the theme. The way the mechanics are described sounds very up my alley as well.
Yeah.
So
That was my
I hope so.
runner-up. Well done, Mike.
thank you. I don't know. I'm. There were a couple that I thought were up Tom's alley, but
the too
both-
many cats, probably.
both of them you
Probably.
kind of talked back.
The too many cats. What are yours? What's yours, Z?
I think I'm going to go with the Lost Code or the Secret Code or whatever that game's
Yeah.
called. I know I like the game.
Yeah.
The Lost Code, yeah.
Oh,
I know I
okay,
like the
yeah.
game already. I'm not, so no surprise there. This is not one
I
I'm
agree.
like hoping will
What
be
is
good.
the name of the game? Is it Straight?
It
Or
was-
what
It
is
had an
Think
8.
straight.
Think Straight. That's what it was.
yeah.
With an 8 instead
With
of
an
an
8 in it.
Yeah.
Like summate.
Like some eight,
Right.
but
Let me summate the
sense.
ways in which I like this game. No, this is, again, no surprise. Mojito Studios did the Cleopatra game, which I think was quite the grasp, the reach they went for with their
Yeah.
first project. They delivered. They did it. There was some, I'll call them production snafus along the way, I would
would
say.
agree, yeah.
This is a much smaller thing. So I don't expect the same hiccups along the way.
Yeah.
And I like the new look. I like what's going on in it. This is an easy sell for me. I am backing this.
You are.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I like to play it. So.
I'll play your
Well,
copy.
good luck with that.
Is that other things? Like, there has
Do
to
I
be-
get to play the Kawayoshi one?
If you can say it, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
You have like 2 years to figure it out.
Here's mine.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad this got picked. Yeah,
No,
that makes me happy.
this looks really interesting. I
Yes.
like a game that's a semi-war game, but feels okay. It looks streamlined. My
Yeah.
only concern is I haven't played anything else from this company,
Right,
so I
right.
don't know, right?
Okay.
But that's on me. I get. Well, Sam played the Warlords games. I didn't. But man, if there's one thing I like, it's a splash of color on black and white. I don't know why. It's like you ever see a black and white movie with a red balloon?
Yeah.
I don't know why I get a kick out of that sort of thing. I enjoy it.
It's a striking visual, image. Yeah, I get
Although
it.
this one has more than just that.
Right.
But it's just color. But I don't know. It looks really interesting. Maybe it's diplomacy fixed. How do they say it? They finally fixed diplomacy.
Yeah.
They finally fixed
Hopefully.
it.
You surprised me, Vassal.
What did you think I was going to pick?
I thought it might be one of those escape room type things.
I thought the escape room, but not the way he talked about it.
That's
He has 2 at home.
Right.
There was something else I thought you
There
might
was
pick,
something
actually.
else, but yeah.
Well, I thought about picking yours.
Okay.
The Pilgrim one looks interesting, but not that much
Okay, I
interesting. But
wasn't-
yeah, the Fantasy Commander, there's a lot of interesting
Yeah.
projects. There's none that knock me off my
That's
feet.
the one I thought you were going to pick, Fantasy Commander.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get past
the
that
first
name.
one.
It's pretty bad.
I hear you.
I cannot get
rather
past the
shallow.
name.
Pretty
Yeah.
bad.
That is shallow, man. But
Hey.
we're board game reviewers. We're shallow.
That's true.
You want deep?
That was a compliment.
I don't know what I'm going to say there.
Because you're shallow. Proving your point.
Plant me under an oak tree and I'm happy.
All right, folks. That's it for another Crowdsurfing. We'll be back next week with another Crowdsurfing. The next live thing is tomorrow morning. Board Game Breakfast, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time, whatever. And then we got a top 10 list tomorrow. Our top 10 anticipated games of 2022. Yes, 2022 is almost 1/4 over.
I'm very excited about this top 10, Tom.
I am, and one of the games that was going to make my list just showed up, so it didn't make the list. So
Oh, really? Okay.
well, it was one of my games from last year's list.
Oh,
just showed up.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Fantastic.
All righty.
Excited
Well,
about
anyway,
that
until next time, I'm Tom Vassal.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
And I'm Mike Delicio.
Have fun making games.
Have fun.
Because you made a new one, right, remember?
Oh, that's right. You have fun checking out this new
This is
outro.
where the invisible wall would have come in
This
here.
would-
Yes.